YN's POV. I am 26 years old and my life is an absolute, unmitigated train wreck. While girls my age are flashing their corporate promotions on LinkedIn, buying their first apartments, and living their best aesthetic lives, I am actively rotting in bed. Literally. It's 3 p.m. on a Tuesday, the blinds are shut tight, and I'm staring at a ceiling that feels like it's slowly collapsing on me. My bank account is currently sitting at a devastating $3.42. No career, no car, no ambition, just a black hole of pure, suffocating depression. Sometimes the thoughts get so loud that the only thing I can do is cry until my chest aches and my throat burns with a raw physical pain and my head painted like I want to smash it. I hate looking in the mirror. I'm short, don't have prefect figures, and just like other girls, I feel completely below average, and I've spent years letting my own mind degrade me, still doing this shit. You're a failure, YN. You're lazy. Nobody wants a woman with zero passion. No good looks, zero confidence, no future, nothing to offer but tears and yapping. My friends don't want me BCs, I don't have a social life, no job, and because I'm a deakin poor bitch. That's why I became an expert at hiding from the world. I don't go out, I don't date, I just stay in this dark room in my parents' house, drowning in my own pathetic existence, escaping into filthy, unhinged fantasies because reality is too much to bear. I don't want to face the real world. I cry so much these days that my eyes permanently look like bruised almonds. To numb the absolute pathetic reality of my existence, I do the only thing that keeps me alive. I escape into a digital addiction, specifically him, a faceless, anonymous god on the internet. For the past 8 months, I have been dangerously, completely obsessed with a masked creator who runs a secret, verified just the sharp, cruel line of his jaw and a sleek, pitch-black mask that covers his eyes and nose. He is filthy rich, sigh. Everybody can tell that by watching his videos, unapologetically dominant and completely out of my league. I've commented on every single one of his posts for 240 days straight. Bold, thirst-trap comments that make my own cheeks burn. Comments. Again, Daddy. Out of millions of fans, he rarely responds to anyone. But 3 months ago, under a similarly feral comment I left, he did something unprecedented. He replied, his reply, "Be careful what you beg for, little one. You might just get it." I stared at my screen for an hour, my heart hammering so hard it felt toxic. It was the only dopamine hit I'd felt in months. Suddenly, my bedroom door slams open, nearly taking the hinges off. "Get your pathetic, gorgeous ass out of that friend who refuses to let me die a virgin in this dark room. Haley, duck off," I groan, pulling the blanket over my head, my voice raspy from crying earlier. "I am busy. Being a failure." "You're not a failure. You're just chronically stuck," she snaps, ripping the blanket away with brutal force. "And tonight, you are not rotting. Mingyu got us VIP access to the most exclusive underground masquerade party in the city. No names, no faces, just masks, expensive liquor, and bad decisions. Wink. Wink. I can't go," I whisper, a lump forming in my throat as tears prick my eyes again. "Look at me. I'm too short. I'm ugly. I look like a tired potato. I look like shit, and people at those parties look down on girls like me. I don't belong there." "Shut up. Stop ducking, degrading yourself, YN." Haley's voice softens, but her grip on my shoulder is firm. "Tonight, nobody knows who you are. You get to live out one of those twisted little fantasies of yours. Put on the ducking dress. The dress is blood red silk clinging to my body like a second skin, exposing a dangerous amount of leg and collarbone. With a black lace mask covering the top half of my face, my reflection doesn't even look like me. It looks like a woman who commands power. An hour later, we step into the underground club. The bass vibrates violently through the soles of my heels, matching the chaotic rhythm of my heart. The lighting is completely dim, cast in heavy shades of crimson and deep violet. Everyone is masked. The air is thick with the smell of expensive cologne, sweat, and pure, unfiltered tension. It feels illicit. Haley vanishes into the crowd to find Mingyu, leaving me standing alone near a dark, velvet-draped pillar. I down a glass of champagne, the alcohol burning a path down my throat, slowly morphing my anxiety into a weird, buzzing adrenaline. I'm invisible here. Nobody knows I'm a broke 26-year-old nobody. Suddenly, the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. A heavy, suffocating aura blankets the space right behind me. The heat radiating off the person standing there is magnetic, completely overwhelming. You look entirely too tense for a place like this. A voice murmurs right next to my ear. My breath completely hitches. The voice is impossibly deep, a rich, dark rumble that bypasses my brain and shoots straight down my spine. It just raw, human, commanding dominance. I turn slowly, my gaze traveling up a broad, muscular chest covered in a perfectly tailored black suit, up a strong, tattooed neck, until I'm staring into pitch black eyes hidden behind a sleek mask. Maybe I just haven't found a reason to relax, I shoot back. He chuckles, a dark, raspy sound that makes my knees betray me and turn to absolute liquid. He steps into my personal space, his chest brushing against my arm. I can smell him now. Cedarwood, expensive whiskey, and something entirely intoxicating. He's tall, imposing. The silver rings on his fingers catch the dim crimson light. My chest constricts. No, there is no ducking way. The tattoos on his hands, the chains, the jawline. He looks exactly like... Is that a challenge, little one? Challenge me. My heart is violently pounding against my ribcage. The shock and the intoxicating scent of his cologne, cedarwood, expensive whiskey, and pure testosterone has me completely paralyzed. I don't do well with games. I whisper, my ends POV, I am staring at the pristine marble toilet bowl of a 50-story glass high-rise, violently throwing up the last shreds of my dignity. Fuck my life. It's been exactly 3 weeks since the masquerade party. 3 weeks since I let a masked man bend me over in the shadows and utterly obliterate every single insecurity I had. 3 weeks since I felt the cold bite of his rings, the bruising grip of his tatted hands, and the mind-numbing heat of his mouth. I haven't heard from him. Obviously. You don't exchange numbers with a ghost who divdiggers you in a VIP dark room, but the memory of his cologne is permanently burned into my brain. It haunts me. It makes my chest ache with a pathetic, desperate yearning every single time I close my eyes. I'm still broke. I'm still severely depressed. But now, I'm depressed with trauma-bonding attachment issues to a man whose face I've never even seen. Gen Z mental health is truly a wild ride, and to make matters worse, my body is staging a violent rebellion. I dry heave over the toilet again, my knuckles turning white as I grip the porcelain. My stomach violently churns. Cold sweat beads on my forehead. Must be the stress, I tell myself, spitting into the bowl and flushing, or that sketchy iced coffee I bought from the subway station. Yeah, definitely the coffee. I drag myself to the sink, splashing freezing water onto my pale face. I look like a Victorian ghost who died of consumption, but I can't afford to pass out today. Today is my first day at John Enterprises. Yay! How I got this job is a literal mystery. A week ago, I was rotting in bed, aggressively liking thirst traps of my masked internet god when I got an email. An executive assistant position, top-tier salary, full benefits. I didn't even apply. Haley swore up and down she pulled strings with her dad's corporate connections, but knowing Haley, she probably bribed someone. Either way, it's a lifeline, a chance to stop being a pathetic, jobless failure. I dry my face, smooth down my cheap, ill-fitting black pencil skirt, and step out of the bathroom. The top floor of John Enterprises is terrifying. It's all sleek black marble, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Seoul, and a deafening, suffocating silence. It smells like fresh money and crushed dreams. YN, a sharp voice snaps. It's the head of HR, a woman who looks like she eats interns for breakfast. The CEO is ready for you. Do not speak unless spoken to. Do not look him directly in the eye for too long. And for the love of God, do not spill his coffee. My heart instantly hammers against my ribcage. I nod, my throat completely dry, balancing the scalding cup of black coffee in my trembling hands. I walk toward the massive double oak doors at the end of the hall. I take a shaky breath, push them open, and step inside. The office is cavernous, drenched in shadows despite the massive windows. And sitting behind a sleek obsidian desk, bathed in the gray light of the city skyline, is him, John Jungkook, the youngest, most ruthless billionaire in the country. My breath hitches, freezing in my lungs. He is wearing a crisp, jet black suit, but the blazer is discarded on a chair, and his dress shirt is rolled up to his forearms. My eyes immediately lock onto the heavy, dark ink creeping out from beneath his cuffs, trailing over his veins. Thick rings gleam on his long fingers. He slowly lifts his head, and my heart violently stops. His face is unfairly, breathtakingly flawless. Sharp, cruel jawline, piercing, pitch-black eyes that hold absolutely zero warmth. He looks like a fallen angel who just bought out hell. But it's the aura that paralyzes me. The heavy, suffocating, dominant energy radiating off him. It hits me like a physical blow, wrapping around my throat. "You're late," he says. The sound of his voice makes my knees completely buckle. It's deep, a rich, dark rumble that bypasses my brain and shoots straight down my V. It's a voice that commands absolute obedience. A voice that makes you want to drop to your knees and apologize for breathing his air. No. My brain short circuits. It's a coincidence. A lot of rich men have deep voices and tattoos. Stop projecting your filthy fantasies onto your billionaire boss, you absolute psycho failure. I'm sorry, Mr. Jeon, I stutter, my voice sounding incredibly small and pathetic in the massive room. I hurry forward, my hands shaking so badly that the coffee sloshes over the lid, burning my thumb. I bite back a whimper and place the cup on his desk. I had a stomach issue this morning. Jungkook doesn't look at the coffee. His dark, predatory eyes slowly drag up my body, taking in my cheap skirt, my trembling hands, and the panicked flush on my neck. The silence stretches, thick and agonizing. I feel completely naked under his stare, stripped down to the bone. A stomach issue, he repeats, his tone completely flat, yet laced with something dangerous. Are you sick? YN? Or just weak? Tears instantly prick the back of my eyes. God, why am I so fragile? I'm fine, sir. I promise I'll work hard. I really need this job. He leans back in his leather chair, a dark, unreadable emotion flashing in his eyes. The rings on his fingers tap a slow, agonizing rhythm against the desk. He looks at me like a predator studying a rabbit that willingly hopped into its cage. "We will see about that," he murmurs, his gaze dropping to my stomach for a split second before snapping back to my eyes. "Your desk is right outside my door. You don't leave unless I tell you to. You don't eat unless I tell you to. Do you understand?" "Yes, sir." "Get out." I spin around and practically flee the office, the heavy oak doors clicking shut behind me. The second I'm alone, I press my back against the wall, clapping a hand over my mouth as another wave of violent nausea hits me. I'm terrified of him. I'm utterly terrified of my new boss. So why the duck does my body ache to go back in there?